let's move on a little bit then. So we talked about friendship, how important that is. So we're saying that mental health, and we're going to rely on people in order to kind of make our lockdown a bit better.
Yeah.
So, what's some signs to watch out for then about friends? Then, so we've got friends, we've got friendships. You were saying it's going to be a positive thing, but is there any signs that you guys can tell me about? There's certain friendships groups that you may have had or had that you could advise people to stay away from during lockdown.
You like him,
I think it's just at this age, right? Lockdown or not, at the age that we are, mid-30s and higher.
Oh, snap! Hey, listen, yeah.
Go on,
all at the higher end of 30s, yeah.
So I'm a young buck, man. I don't know about you, man. I'm a young buck.
Some are pushing 40, you know what I mean? So,
40?
you know, it's what it is. Yeah.
I'm a young buck, man.
Mid-30s and up.
Can't get away from it.
Like, there's friends that I know that have been left behind, literally left behind in age.
Yeah,
They're
you're
still
right.
doing them things that we were doing when we were 17, 18, 19.
Yeah.
Literally teenage stuff.
Listen, I'm not here to try and expose
All I got in my head
man
now
and
is that
teen,
Nas
yeah.
tune, Second Childhood. That's all I got.
No, I'm not saying it's both stuff, but what I'm saying is like, was it that you tried to help and they didn't want help? Like, explain.
I mean, it's a mentality thing with certain people, whereas like, you know, we're all kind of got our careers now and we're all like kind of moving forward. And there's certain people who didn't want to do that, didn't take the advice that they were given, and got left behind, basically.
Okay.
You know, and it's sad because we all grew up together, but at the same time,
Not right. It's
it
sad,
happens
man.
in friendships, I guess, where people just don't move the same way as.
I see some of them people and I just think, what are you doing with your life, man?
Damn,
You know what I
home.
mean? Yeah.
High school, you was
the man, homie. What the fuck happened to you? I do see that, bruv. There's certain man I see, I think, right. I wouldn't say I was a leader and I wouldn't say I was a follower, but I saw how certain people were moving. I'm not trying to move that way. I'm trying to, do you know what I mean? I'm trying to stay I'm trying to be a positive life.
If I fell off, yeah, say I fell off and lost my family and friends and I got hooked on drugs or something like that, right?
Yeah.
I would expect, if I see T-Roy and I'm on the street, I'd expect T-Roy to look out for me.
Understood.
Because he was my
I
friend
get it.
20 years ago.
I get it.
Of
Otherwise,
course.
what's the point?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean,
But we would let you get to that stage, Eli. Do you know what I mean? We'd try everything we could before you got to that stage. If you continue to go there, then what else can we do for you?
Correct.
And if I died...
We're not saying we're not going to, when we see you in the street in 20 years' time, we're not going to say, yo, what's up? We'll still talk to you. Of course we would. But if you continue to move that way, that's your life. We can't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't pull you off the street and say, nah, you got to come, you're living in my basement.
it's a level of, okay, people fall off, yeah, and you can throw help out there, but is there a cut-off point then where you just say, I've tried, I can't, or do you carry on? Because I fell off. You know, most of you boys know I fell off and I got myself in the wrong way and
Was that when you put a relax in your head? That's the only time you fell off.
Relaxing, you know.
I come to school like Sonic the Hedgehog, we said, damn. He fell off. Seriously, yeah.
no, but yeah, I did fall off there, man. The finger waves, man. I
That
wasn't,
one finger wave, though.
I wasn't, man. I didn't
That's tidal wave.
Nah, man. Well, that was nice, man, until when you watch it, man, and the relaxing washes out. But I had to gel it down and that. But now I fell off, do you know what I mean? But I think if I never had a certain friend circle of the people that I mess with now, I think I still would have probably been in that deep hole, because the reason I got in that hole, personally, is that I moved away from socialising for a few years with the people who were positive in my life.
Yeah.
So I kind of saw maybe the financial gain, maybe being popular, maybe females, etc. So I moved away from basically the people I grew up with, who I went to school with, you guys, you know, and that led me to that. And I think if those people weren't there, I probably would have stayed in that deep hole. Do you know what I mean?
Understood. Yeah. For instance, for us guys, you know, we say we would never give up on like each other, never stop trying or whatever. But there's certain people who you just have to, because when you're trying to keep helping them and they keep going back into that same position, and you know, you're reaching an arm out and saying, look, this time, like, you need to fix up because, you know, we're here to help you. But if you mess up again, you're gone basically, and then, you know, still do the same stupidness.
How how deep does the situation have to be for you to give up on someone, or what they have to do in order for you to say that's enough? Because I've tried 100 times, I'm giving up. Or they've done this to me, that to me. Now I'm giving up. Is there a certain line for you, Ray, like as a person, where you'll give up on someone?
I think it's hard because I don't like to say the word giving up on them, but it's like, you know, I've extended now, like, you know, me and you having dialogue now, like we're talking, you're telling me what you want to do next, and I'm like, yep, that's positive, what help do you need, so forth. And then, you know, if I'm going to go out of my way to help and you're still going back into the stuff you told me you didn't want to do anymore, or we're not going to do anymore, then at that point I'm like, there's nothing else I can do, because if I've engaged with you and we had this conversation, you know the next steps you want to do, we've kind of mapped out what you want to do, and then you just, you know, go back into that same life, then, you know, what do I do then? Like, I can't keep trying to help you and bring you forward if you're going to keep going back into that same mix. So,
but I think in lockdown's going to drive, if it keeps going on, not even lockdown, just kind of liberties being taken away from us and not being able to go to work and make money. I think it's inevitable that someone's going to fall off for that reason. Like someone's going to lose their way, or like we talk about mental health, or financially, or just do stupidness. Like, does that make you want to go crazy?
I agree.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
If you haven't got a job,
so what are you going to do then? Just
how you going to make money?
10, like Eli give you 10 chances and then you're out.
I think that
the door has to be open, in my opinion.
I think our friendship
it has to be
different.
ajarred open.
I think our friendship grew different because I think I don't personally think that we would let each other fall off. I think if we're struggling financially for something to eat, whatever it is, I think that you could call upon. We've got enough friends to support each other. Yeah. So, but I also think there's certain people who have got a bit too much pride. Maybe to ask for help.
Yeah, of course.
Definitely.
There's also going to be some people who think, well, I ain't got a job, I've got to pay my bills, and they might slip off. They may have to go into criminal activity. They may have to go in. The government have to take some responsibility for this because
they don't care.
They don't care. Well,
I've grown out of them conversations anymore. I can't sit in a room with them and grow from what we're talking about. Not everything you talk about with your friends got to be deep. In fact, 99% of it ain't.
No.
Yeah.
But there's certain rooms that I want to be in where I don't want to be the smartest person in the room.
Understood.
Yeah.
And with them people, you're always going to be the smartest person in the room. What am I getting out of it? Like, they can't offer anything.
You can't have the intelligent conversation or whatever. I hear that.
Yeah.
No one. My door is not closed completely. I'd say it's 99% closed for some people, and it's going to take a lot for the people to come back into my door.
Yeah.
But we've all done stuff that's annoyed each other and or whatever. Or you fell out with a man for a little while, but I don't think I've done something to. Well, if you're out there, let me know. I don't think
the younger team.
I'm just thinking, boy.
But that is the flip side. There's going to be people who feel the same way. But I know there's people who feel that about me, like I've done them something, but they've got the wrong side of as far as I'm concerned. My perspective's different.
That's
why I can't close my door, because I know.
I would hate to think that I've done something to somebody that bad that they couldn't forgive me for.
At a certain time, you just hit the age where you're no longer concerned with them.
I think it's an age where you just get humbled, like, you know, and there's certain things that's happened, and you like see someone and think, you know what, like, I don't want this like animosity anymore. Like, you know, I just want to just have like, you know, just a stress-free kind of life going forward, I guess. Exactly. For instance, this particular person I'm thinking of, like, you know, we had disputes throughout, like, from when we were kids or whatever, had disputes or whatever. He wanted to go one way, I went another way. And, it come to a point, like, where something had happened and, you know, it was a trauma in my life. And since then, I've seen him since.
Right.
And he wanted to have it out with me one day over something that's happened to him. And I'm like, look, you know, I didn't know that, you know, you went over to this place or whatever and this thing happened to you. But at the same time, like, it's not my fault. And he's like, blah, blah, blah. Well, you know, I did this, I did that. And I'm standing there like, and I'm like, do you know what? I can't have this right now. And like, at that time, I ain't gonna lie, I had to catch a bus. I know it happens sometimes. Car was in the garage. But anyway, so I caught the bus. And as I was on the bus, I was vexing myself. I was like, why did you not just engage and just say, you know, this, that, but that bus is going to be next one to be 40 minutes. I ain't waiting no 40 minutes in town. So that was maybe we talk on the bus. But at the same time, it's like, so then anyway, so something's happened to this guy, and I've just reached him on Messenger and just said, look, you know, sorry to hear, blah blah blah, and just left it at that basically, because at the end of the day, like, you know, whether he accepted my message or not, but you know, is what it is. Least in myself, I know that I did a decent thing.